concern I have deals with a comment that was made in the Pioneer. And I wasn't in the meeting, and I actually didn't read it, but this came from me from a couple people saying that these cuts are based on poor evaluations. Let's talk about the cuts. We're looking at 5 people, 1 is highly effective, and 4 are effective. What does effective mean? Effective means they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. That offends me. That offends every staff member in this district. They are not poor teachers. Okay, so I just want to make sure that was clear. These cuts are not made based on poor evaluations. All right, we are losing top teachers. Second thing, we know the legislation has changed. We used to cut based on seniority. Now we cut based on these evaluations. We have a few teachers that are above 20 years that are feasibly losing their jobs. And when I say losing their jobs, I just want to make sure you realize that when they lose their jobs, they're probably losing a career. I want that here in your heart so you know what's going on, okay? I know this problem is not caused by us, but it is your problem. A teacher that's been teaching 3-4 years away from retirement, now you're looking at somebody that's not going to be able to pull their pension until they're 60 years old, because I bet you nobody's going to hire them. It's terrible to say that, but that's reality.
Yeah. I had spoke with the attorney in regards to its sale. We might have talked about this last time, but we'll talk again, that's okay. His recommendation was to get a market analysis versus an appraisal, because of the type of building it is and the difficulty of its sale. It goes on appraisal is just going to probably bind you more than help you. And so I have spoke with a real estate agent who's working on that for me. I spoke today, got a hold of one of the council members from the village of Morley, and they are supposed to be getting back to me by mid to early next week what their interest might be in the building, because there was some mentioned interest when I met with them a month ago, 6 weeks ago. I guess that's just kind of where we stand here.
I have a question.
Yes.
I already voted once to close Stanwood. Why do I have to vote again to close Stanwood? Which was never really closed.
I'm probably not wording it right in regards to closing it. It's the discontinuation of utilities is really what we're looking at. It is closed. Nobody's there.
But we kept the utilities going in Stanwood.
And correct, even though nobody was
right.
there. And that cost us $25,000, $6,000, $7,000 last year. Morley, of course, had folks there. Even though we had trying to limit and monitor the heat a little bit on the second and third floor, there was maybe a 15 to 17% savings. It still cost us $35,000 in utilities.
So would that be better phrase saying, and also discontinue utilities in Stanwood in 2014?
It would. It would.
Any other questions or discussion on this one?
What are the plans for the alternative ed and the little kids that were at Morley Elementary?
Because the process is timely and has a number of hoops, I've already asked Schneider Roy, to begin, or given her permission, so to speak, to begin looking at licensing classrooms in the elementary next door, where they will go. Same with our ECDD program. Now that's different, a whole different set of dollars and numbers and licensing and so forth, but they would also go there. Not exactly sure which classroom that they would fit. Alternative program, I didn't have a good answer for you then. I still have a great answer for you, because Jamie and Cheryl continue to work on the schedule for next year at the high school level. The last update I had, Jamie thought that they might be able to free Ryan up for as many as 4 out of the 6 class periods to work with alternative students and phase them out over a 2-year period. And that is not happening. And we think returning-wise, we think we'd be maybe a little high if we said 22, 25.
Moving on to G is motion to approve a resolution to lay off 5 teaching staff and 1 reduced to part-time.
We don't know what our funding is going to be increased by
Well,
at all.
what I know it's going to be increased by is using the 2X formula, which means that the foundation will be increased by 30, and for the districts in the lower foundation, they get twice that, so 60. But as I was on the phone with the attorney who's helping us with the bond issue for the carpet, he said, I heard today that the best practice money is going away. That's $52. So I either got a $60 increase or an 8. That was Friday. So I don't know. And I sit here feeling stupid, but I don't know.
Story of our life. It seems like it's
So it has to be, it was just passed. Just passed. Has it even been signed by the governor? I don't think so, but it's been sent to him. As soon as that happens, I know we'll get a breakdown and we'll get more specifics. I don't know sitting here tonight.
I've been on here over 11 years and I'm getting mighty tired of not ever knowing.
I guess at least I could throw them a bone that says for the last 2 years they've done this in June, it should read September or October.
Yeah.
So that's how it used to work.
And the reason we have to vote on this tonight versus June 26th would be?
There's 2 things. One of them is I need to give, our last day is the 10th, teacher's last day is the 11th, parents and everybody else's last day is the 10th. I need to give out a letter of assurance to employees before they leave so that they don't draw unemployment over the summer. Number 1. Number 2, it just seems best if they have as much time as possible to make whatever plans they think is best for their life. And if I wait till the end of the month, that's 30 less days that they could contemplate what to do. For their sake, it just seems beneficial. Even though they may be waiting for the end of the month to see if they get recalled, I don't know, at least I would want to know.
So contractually, there's nothing binding that says you have to let them know
Not anymore.
X amount of days.
No, so it used to be. We would have done this before April 1st in the past.
But our intentions are to recall if funding is available. Is that true?
That's true. To recall, looking at what programs we want to add back, how we would add them.
In the past, we have.
In the past, we have.
And we've done that.
And we have done that, yes. And then you take some of these scenarios and you
Right, that's what
work them backwards, so to speak.
we're going to work these backwards.
So let me make sure I understand this. I know it's changed, and I know the seniority has changed, but you're telling me that per contract, the teachers, you don't have a deadline to lay them off like what they used to have.
That's correct.
So in other words, let me assume that you didn't lay them off.
Okay.
But come the school year in September, at that time, if not needed, then they could be laid off?
I could lay people off in September if I wanted, or January if we needed. But I don't think, they lose their entire opportunity to look for a job. Because of that.
So, I want to just make
But
sure, the
you are-
only
you are
reason
correct.
why you want to do this is because you want to, even though some of them are senior teachers that have been here for a long time, that they could turn around and look for work.
No, it isn't the only reason. I can't legitimately build a budget.
Right.
I can't, which we're now working on for the 26th meeting,
Right.
if I have these 5.5 people.
Right.
So I have to build a budget based on reductions on the best guesses that I have. That's exactly what it is. It's the best guess that I have. But I can't give you a budget on the 26th saying, here it is, as close to balance as possible, knowing I have 5 people and I can afford it.
It's tough. It's tough being up here, people. I'll tell you, this is not easy.
Okay, any additional discussion? Okay, would someone like to make a motion? Okay, do you have support? Moved and supported to approve the resolution to lay off the 5 teaching staff and the 1 reduced to part-time. Do a roll call, please.
Josh,
Yes.
Lisa,
Yes.
Sharon,
Yeah.
Denny,
Yep.
Ken,
Yes.
Cindy,
No.
and Heidi.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Can I just say one thing? Hopefully I can do it without crying. You know, this is not easy for any of us, and most all of the teachers have had my kids, and, you know, it's tougher up here, for us up here, and I'm really sorry, and I wish we could be more for you.